Hey everybody, it's Mrs. Franey. I wanted to go over with you today how to use your science notebook this week. And for B-Day students, you're not going to be with me on Monday to get started, so I thought this would be a really great way for you to start off on the right foot. So when you open your science notebook from Google Classroom, you're going to see this page where it says My Digital Notebook and the date, and this marble composition notebook picture. So in this area here, you can click in here, you can change this around. I definitely want you to leave a date. You can put your name on here, you can put science notebook, whatever you want to put. I would like you to, before you turn it in at the end of the week, I'd like you to put some pictures on here that go with the unit. So whatever we're talking about this week, you would paste some pictures that go with that. All right, the next page is that table of contents page, and if you want to use the table of contents, you are more than welcome to do that. I'm not going to require that. If you know that you're not very organized, this may help you, but since your notebook's already made for you, I don't know that you need it. So if you do not want that, you could delete it, just like that. All right, let me put it back. All right, so our first activity this week that everyone's going to be working on, whether you're A day or B day, is Activity 12, Observing Natural Resources. Now this is your notebook where you would write your answers normally on paper and answer your questions, and we went over this in class. If you are at home and you're not sure how to get started, I'm just going to show you that right here where this scroll is, here is your student book, and here is the video that goes with this lab. So all you have to do here is click on the student book and open up your pages for Observing Natural Resources. And what you'll see here is your lab investigation that has to do with Activity 12. So at home, you have to read through Activity 12, and it's a really good idea to make sure that you read everything, including the challenge questions and the materials. Now the materials will be in the video, which is also in your notebook. And then you'll go through here where it says procedure, and it's up to you to read these steps. So when it's telling you to look at a certain sample, you need to go and view the video in your notebook. The great thing for you is in your notebook, I already put this data table there for you, so you would just go right back in your notebook and type your observations and do your ranking and your reasons for your ranking. So as I page down, we're going to get these analysis questions. I also put these analysis questions in your notebook, and please don't type these questions into your notebook yourself, because sometimes I don't make you do them all. So that would really be a waste of your time if it's not a question that we need. So let's go back into the notebook so we can see, oh, that's not your notebook. There we go. Where the video is, and here's the video. Right there, and you would open that up, and sometimes these videos have sounds and sometimes they don't. I believe this one does not, but you'll see that as it comes on, the video should match with the title of your activity. And here is the sample of the coal, and notice that it did give you a measurement for how big it is. It also you can pause this so that you can look closely into the minerals. The dots that are on the rocks, please don't observe those. Those are just for the teachers to put those back in their kits and remember what kind of rock it is. So if it has a blue dot or a red dot, or like this one has a green dot, it doesn't have any meaning whatsoever to the actual sample. All right, so back to your notebook. When you are finished and you need to answer your questions, you can just click where it says type your answer here, and you can type your questions. And if you're like, but Mrs. Franey, this is so small, how am I supposed to see what I'm doing? Well, you can go up here to the magnifying glass, click the little upside down triangle for the drop down menu, and just put it at 50, and you'll be able to see exactly what you need to do. And I left this in here for the first time around. If you are an honors student, you'll be doing all 4 of these things to get all the points for your questions. If you are in Science 8, our goal is to get to doing all 4 of these things, But right now, we're really looking for restating the question and answering the question. If you can cite some data, that would be really great. So what that means is you're going to go up here and say something from your data table. So that's your data for today. It also can be text from the reading in the book. But if you can cite any type of data or text, that really makes your writing a lot better. All right, so when you're done with activity 12, you are going to make sure that you've done all your questions, and you're going to make sure that you typed everything really nicely, and you use sentences like it asks. And then when you get to the Discovery Ed board, I am going to assign that in your Discovery Education Textbook. All of your names have been added to my roster, so now I can assign you your work. So don't forget, you have to go into Clever and then open up Discovery Education from there. And when you open it, you should see the Discovery Education board assigned right under your name. So it'll say welcome and whatever your name is, and then under that you will see the Discovery Education board, which is called Minerals, Ores, and Fossil Fuels. While you're going through that, it tells you what you need to do here, and then you're going to write in this box. But if I click on it, I can't write. So don't forget, you're going to have to go up here and get a text box, and you have to come down here, put your text box in so you can type. All right, if you really can't see this, you can go ahead and make this even bigger. And you can just go up here and make it like 100%, and now you can see what you're doing. So what is a mineral? And you would type that here. What is an ore? That would go here, and so on. Giving an example. So this could be names of minerals, names of ores, names of fossil fuels. And then what do we use that mineral for? Whatever example you gave, you can talk about what we use it for. Same thing for ores and same thing for fossil fuels. All right, and then going through the notebook, you're just going to go through the rest of the pages, and this is way too big, so let me shrink that down a little. Still a little big. You're just going to put your, it's going to tell you what you need to do right here. Define each of the vocab words in your own words, and find a picture to represent each, and the picture would go out here in this little blank space. If you're a B-Day student, you're going to be working on physical and chemical properties at home, and to do that you're going to use my Bitmoji Classroom. You'll click on Mr. Clark's site that we went over in class last week, and you'll read about what you need to do here, and this is just a simple drag and drop, and you would be able to just grab a hold of that and put it wherever it's supposed to go on the paper. Right? And if they don't all fit, just do your best to try to get them where they need to go. No worries. And then you're going to take a look at whether or not you are A day or B day, depending on what assignments you need to do, and those will be marked in Google Classroom for you. Because if you are A day, you're probably doing certain things with me at school, and B day, you might be doing something totally different at home, because some things I only want you to do with me. So just be really careful that you're doing the assignments that say B day or A day. For activity 13, everybody's doing this with me at school, so please don't work ahead. Read very carefully in Google Classroom. So all these two will be in class with me. Once you finish all of your notebook pages and you like it and you did a great job and you wrote your sentences really nicely and you used that race response or you restated and answered, and you can go back, and if you have time for extra credit, you can add in your extra credit pages. If you're not interested in extra credit, when you're finished with all your notebook pages, you can go ahead and hand it in through Google Classroom. So you'll just turn it in through your assignment. And those will be graded weekly. So very simple, easy to do this year with notebooks. You don't have to worry about binding things or going crazy with it. So in addition to any of these assignments, you need to make sure that you are reading Google Classroom and figuring out what homework there may be, because there is a Flipgrid this week that is listed as homework, and that's for everybody on Thursday night. And it's just kind of like a little assessment on what we did this week. Lastly, on Friday, we're going to have our Google Meet. We're going to go over mineral identification lab that we're going to do, which is a gizmo. On Thursday, everybody should already be into Gizmo because we're going to do that at school to make sure everyone's account works. And then we will do the first page of the lab together during our Google Meet. And then we will be finished for the week and be prepared for our quiz next week on Monday and Wednesday. All right, so I hope this has been informative on how to use the science notebook and what we're going to be doing this week coming up, which is week 2.